Demon Slayer is one of, if not the most popular anime going on right now as of 2025. And as y'all know, it's what kickstarted my channel. I'm obviously a huge fan. Now recently we've been making a lot of Demon Slayer videos on this channel, and today, as y'all can tell from the thumbnail and title, we'll be continuing that theme, because today we'll be explaining and ranking every single Hashira's backstory. Now I know what you're thinking, that's kind of fucked up. Now I know, but I also thought that it'd be kind of boring to just explain the backstory, as we kind of already know that, and I think just ranking them makes the video a little bit more interesting, and I haven't done a tier list in a minute. And you're probably also thinking, what about Tundra, what about Inosuke, what about Genya? I decided to stick with the Hashira because recently I've been making Hashira and Upper Moon comparison videos, so I decided to just stick with that category. And also because if I decided to do other Demon Slayers and not the Hashira, where would I stop? Would I do Murata? Would I do Ao? Would I do the three little girls that hang around Shinobu's mansion? Where would I end it? So Hashira, I think, is a good breaking point. And they're the most important characters in the story anyways, or at least in the Demon Slayer core. But anyways, with all that being said, if you're excited just as much as I am to get into this video, it's low-key kind of fucked up to be excited about getting into somebody's sad-ass backstory. But anyways, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to join GOD, and to let me know you like this type of content. And since you like this type of content, make sure to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the content that you literally like. It could be anybody. It could be your brother, sister, niece, nephew, son, daughter, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandpa, granddad. Now, as you can see right here, we got our tier list. And as you can see right here, our tier list looks a little bit different than normally. Because normally I use the Dragon Ball Dokkan / Legends tiers. So like you got Z up here, then you got UR, SSR, SR, RN. But since this is ranking sad ass, tragic ass backstories, I decided, okay, let's change it and make a little bit more, I guess, relative to the sad backstories. And also for, you know, the clips, it makes the list will look a little bit different since I'm not ranking the Hashira, I'm ranking the backstory. So, you know, for the clips, you know, on the TikTok and the YouTubes and Instagrams, it makes it make more sense so, you know, people can understand it. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and explain the tier list right now. So first off, we got trenches, which is like worst of the worst. No human should ever go through this. This is like straight up psychological warfare. Like this is just sad as hell. You get what I'm saying, bro? Like this is not for human beings. Human beings should never have to go through this shit, right? That's the trenches, the worst of the worst. Now next up, we got I wouldn't make it. So me personally would not be able to make it through this shit, right? This is like some sad ass shit. Like, and when I say I wouldn't make it, I mean that literally. I don't want to say go into detail because I'm on YouTube, but gang, I'm not going through this shit. I'm Audi 9000, if you know what I'm saying. Next up, you got damn. Damn is basically like, it's like when someone tells you their sob story and you got no words. You're just like, damn. Like what am I like that's like, wow, I never would expect some shit like that. Like that, I don't know, like, damn, I never heard of that before. Like that's like, damn, like that's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like that's actually crazy. Like you're dead ass. Like I'm speechless. I'm flabbergasted. Like, what am I supposed to do with that information? Like I just don't know what to do with that information. Next up, we got I set a tier. Now listen, now me personally, I'm not a crier, but this is more so like this like that would bring a grown man to tears, and you just like you're like staring off into the fucking wind, and you just got like one singular tear going down your cheek. Like, damn, like it's not that sad, but it's kind of like inspirational, motivational. Like my pet dog died. If my pet dog died, I'd probably like, oh my god, my dog, oh my god. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, as a man's best friend, and then a singular tear goes down your cheek. You know what I'm talking about? And then next up is I'm sorry to hear that. This is like when a stranger tells you, hey man, just got laid off work the other day. Like, damn man, sorry to hear about that. Better luck next time. Get at him, tiger. Like this is like, you know, that type of shit where it's like, sorry buddy, like that type of shit, like pat you on the back, like I'm sorry to hear that, bro. And then you got not so sad. So originally this was not sad, but that's kind of fucked up, especially since every single one of these backstories is sad. I mean, duh. I mean, they wouldn't be in the Demon Slayer core if they were happy. I mean, shit, like if I'm happy, bitch, I ain't fighting these demons. So I mean, they're all kind of sad, at least relatively speaking. So I didn't want to, you know, be disrespectful and put not sad, so I put not so sad. But anyways, now that we got all that shit out the way, let's go ahead and start the list, and let me stop yapping. So first off, right here on the list, I was gonna do like, you know, the same order that I did with my Demons and Hashira's video, but since this list already got a list right here in order for me, so I'm gonna just go ahead and start off with Muichiro, which already bam. Which, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and put right there, because as y'all know, at least to me personally, Muichiro, out of all the Hashiras off the top of Chrome, this motherfucker got like the saddest damn backstory, I think, personally. One of the reasons why he's my favorite Hashira, because he just goes through so much over the span of 3 years. Like, obviously, let me go ahead and explain. I'm gonna just run through these pretty quickly. We've all seen the backstory, so I don't really want to spend too much time explaining them, because it's like we've already all seen them or read them or both. You know, this is more so about me ranking them. So I'm gonna give y'all a quick rundown. Boom. So Kokushibo, as we know, is a descendant of the Kokushibo's family that he left behind, and also being a distant cousin of the Kamado family. They're living in the mountains as well, similar to the Kamado family. And at this point, Muichiro, he's 11 years old, and he has a twin brother, Yuichiro, who's also 11 years old. Duh, that's how twins work. And he has a mother and a father. Now, his mother is like bedridden sick, like sick as fuck, like disease and shit. And so one night it's storming, it's raining, it's like, yeah, so, and the mom is like dying. She's like, I'm dying, I'm sick as fuck. Muichiro's like, dad, you gotta save mom. And he's like, look, I'm gonna do it in the morning. I'm gonna go get the, and so there's only this one specific tea they have to make from these special leaves, I think, or herbs or whatever. I don't remember if it's tea, but anyways, there's a certain flower he has to go get in order to save her, which is probably that lily shit, you know, the purple spider lily shit. Basically, the dad's like, I will get it in the morning because it's raining and storming right now. I'm gonna die just like mom, and so I'm gonna stay in the house tonight. I mean, Muichiro was like, nah, dad, you gotta go save her right now. I can't live without my mom. You gotta go, dad. And so the dad is like, all right, bet. So the dad leaves, travels across the damn nation, finally finds the leaf or the plant he was looking for, and it's at the bottom of a cliff. So he starts making his way down this cliff, and he slips, falls, dies, splat. He's dead as fuck on the ground, right? Deceased. Ain't never coming back. So since that's the case, now Muichiro and Yuichiro are fatherless, and later that night or that morning, mom died too. So now they're orphans. I almost said orphans list, but that doesn't make any sense. Now they're orphans. They are parentless. So Yuichiro, the older twin brother, who's the exact opposite of Muichiro, he's kind of an a-hole, but also, you know, both his parents died, and so he kind of blames the death a little bit on Muichiro because, you know, he's the one that told the dad to go out during the nighttime. Anyways, so they're trying to survive on their own, being sad and shit, and one night they're attacked by a demon. Yuichiro, the older brother, tries to defend Muichiro and gets his arm cut off, right? And he starts screaming. He's like, ah! And then the demon basically kills him. And then Muichiro, like having a freaking canon event and awakening his haki like he's fucking Doflamingo, and basically just like neuters just mauls this goddamn demon with an axe. And since demons can only die to Nichiren swords or the sunlight, he just hacked up the damn demon and put some like stone rocks on his body parts so he couldn't regenerate them, and on his head so he couldn't regenerate his head, and then he just waited till the morning and he burned up in the sunlight. Then soon after this, through that traumatic event, he forgets, like he basically gains amnesia, which is a real life scientific thing. Basically, you go through something so traumatic that like you humanly, mentally cannot live through that trauma, so your brain kind of, in a way to protect itself and survive, heavily suppresses the memories because you wouldn't mentally be able to live through some shit like that. Oftentimes with traumatic things like that, your brain will suppress those memories in order for you to live. He forgets his memories, and then soon after that, he's approached by Amane, who's obviously the wife of Kaguya Ubiyashiki, who's runs the Demon Slayer Corps. She comes up to him and it's like offers him basically a job, at the Demon Slayer Corps. And then of course he learns, perhaps even creates, mist breathing, which represents, the fog in his mind, as they call it in the show. So right there already, personally, I think that's like the saddest backstory. I'm not gonna lie. Like just looking at this list right here and just knowing, that's probably, for me, Muichiro's probably got the saddest backstory. Both his parents died. At the age of 11, his older brother died trying to protect him, also at the age of 11, and just in brutal deaths too. He forgets his memories, but he dies at the age of 14. That means all this traumatic ass shit happened over the span of 3 years before he even hit puberty, or while he was in puberty, I suppose. Before this man didn't reach the high school age in all, well, not even a man. He's 11 to 14, and his death was also extremely brutal, right? As well, if you know, you know what I mean, if you know, you know. He got his hand chopped off, his leg chopped off, he got cut in half, turned into a tree, he got stabbed through the shoulder and pinned to a pillar with his own sword, and he was still alive during all this. He didn't finally die until after Kokushiba already died. Like, so he was in half, bro. Like, this dude probably has the most traumatic backstory plus experience. This is probably the most tragic character, well, at least out of the Hashiras. The only Hashira that I think has a run for his money is maybe Sanemi, just off the top of the chrome. But anyways, let's go on and move to the next. We got Gyomei. Now, initially, I want to put Gyomei like here, but this might change after I go through the backstory and give myself a reminder. So obviously we get Gyomei's backstory during the Hashira training arc, and basically, long story short, because again, I'm not going into that detail because it's more about ranking than explaining. So at the age of 19, he becomes a teacher. Pretty poor, but he's blind, of course. But anyways, he becomes a teacher for like these preschoolers, kindergarten age kids. Look, from the looks of it, I guess he's teaching them like basic fundamental, like math, science. I don't really know what he's teaching them. I don't think anybody really does. But of course, Kaigaku is one of those kids, and they're orphan kids, right? So like they don't have parents. So he's kind of like the only parental figure in their life, right? At nighttime, when these kids are asleep, he places these candles, I think they're candles. Anyway, he places like these candles or incense or some type of talisman outside of the cabin that they're in order to ward off demons, right? Now, one of these days, Kaigaku leaves because, you know, Kaigaku's kind of probably one of the worst. Actually, I wouldn't say he's one of the worst characters. I mean, he sucks, but I mean, like, I feel like every single demon is worse than Kaigaku, even though Kaigaku does become a demon in the end. But Kaigaku is, at least from the fans' perspective, one of the worst characters. So he leaves, right, and goes to run off to go do his own thing, I guess, and he runs into a demon, and this demon is about to eat him, but to save his own life, he's like, hey man, you don't need to eat me. There's like a house full of kids that you can eat, but don't eat me though. And so basically he gets rid of the candles, incense, talismans or whatever, so that the demon can go into the cabin and eat all the kids. Now the demon gets in there and he starts massacring these kids, but Gyomei is able to fight him off, right? Because just with his pure raw strength. I mean, bro built like Shaq. I would expect you to have pure raw strength. So he starts boxing this demon and wins, but by the morning time, there's no evidence left of the demons. Half these damn kids are dead as fuck on the ground, and the only kid left is this like 4-year-old little girl hiding in the corner like, oh, I'm so scared. And since she's traumatized, she don't know what happened. It was dark at night. She was crying the whole time, and so all she sees is this big body Shaq looking nigga standing right over her, all bloodied up from the demon. And since there's no evidence of the demon, since they burn up in the sunlight, he gets arrested. But Kaguya Ubuyashiki pulls up on him, hears his story, and it's like, hey bitch, you want to make some motherfucking money? Then he joins the Demon Slayer Corps, learns stone breathing, and kind of the rest is history. And now he's age 26. And so yeah, so I think even after giving myself a reminder, I think I'm still gonna kind of leave him here, at least for now, because yes, it's sad, but like it is very sad. It's more so sad for the kids than him, because like imagine there's like a school shooter, right? And your teacher fights off the school shooter, like you all get shot up except for like one of you, right? And your teacher like beats the school shooter to death, but then like he beats him so much to a pulp that like he has no more body. Like he beat his ass so hard he just disintegrated to a blood red mist. Like there's no more evidence, right, that you just beat like the perpetrator to death, right? So then the cops arrest him, but then like right before he's supposed to be executed, so like not that long later, maybe like a week later, some dude comes in and he's like, hey, want to join the police force? Like, you know what I'm saying? Want to join Secret Service? Basically, you save somebody's life, was wrongly accused, and then you join the Secret Service. So that's kind of the way I view it. It's like, so yes, it is sad, but at the end of the day, nothing bad really happened to you. You know what I mean? Like those kids are dead. That little girl is traumatized for the rest of her life, but you're more or less fine. I mean, you're blind, but I mean, you were born blind. Like, you know, you didn't become blind because of the incident. Anyways, I'm gonna just leave it as where it is. Let me just move on to the next up. So next up, we got Giyu. Now already, I'm sorry, deadass, one of my favorite characters, okay? But honestly, I think I might move it up to here. I'll move it up. I'll put it right there. Giyu is my favorite character, actually. So Giyu is my favorite character, my favorite Hashira. Next up is I think probably Muichiro, and then Sanemi, and then probably Rengoku. Rengoku's kind of middle of the pack, at least in terms of Hashira. Rengoku is like probably right middle of the pack, just because I gotta know you for the entire story for me to like you. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta survive. He was only there for like 7 episodes, like, or 1 movie. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's too short for me. Like, but anyways, let me stop yapping. So Giyu's backstory. So obviously at the start of the story, when Tanjiro first becomes a demon slayer and he's trying to cut that boulder in half, comes across these apparitions, these 2 past demon slayers named Sabito and Makomo. Sabito and Makomo were in the same class, quote unquote class, with Giyu and, believe it or not, Murata. So Murata, Sabito, Makomo, and Giyu were all in the same Demon Slayer class, or final selection class base. They're all in the same final selection. Now, Giyu was still kind of a, scaredy cat little crybaby, so he couldn't really fight that well. Like, I mean, he could, but like, he was still kind of like a crybaby, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't that confident, right, in his abilities. He was still kind of scared. Obviously, anybody would, like, if we came across demons, anybody of us would have been scared, right? Basically, this year, Sabito basically saved all the demon slayers of that year, except for, I guess, himself and his sister, because Sabito single-handedly slayed every single demon on that mountain, except obviously the hand demon, because Tanjiro kills the hand demon. Which I suppose that means Tanjiro is stronger than Sabito at that point. Sabito is also Giyu's best friend, and Sabito's Hiyori was the orange and green half right here, which is why he has one half is Hiyori, green and orange, the green and orange patterns. But the other half, the red side, comes from his older sister. Now, before he became a demon slayer, he had an older sister, and she was going to get married to this guy. The day before she got married, she ends up being killed by a demon. That's how Giyu becomes a demon slayer. So yes, it is quite sad. You lose your older sister, you lose your best friend, but believe it or not, there are much worse, at least in my opinion, because I mean, this is a tragic ass anime. Losing your brother, losing your sister, and your best friend in this verse aren't that tragic compared to others. Now yes, that is sad as hell in real world, but since it's a demon slayer, everybody has a sad backstory. Duh. Nobody happy joins the demon slayer corps. If you're happy, you're not joining the demon slayer corps. Shit, even Zenitsu got a sad backstory, and his backstory is that he was just in debt. So, I mean, that's pretty sad. I mean, shit. I mean, it's not that, but you see what I'm getting at? Like, that might be sad, you're in debt, but compared to other characters, that's not that sad. So that's why originally I put, I'm sorry to hear that. I'll bump it up a little bit. So I shed a tear because you did lose 2 people. Anyways, moving on. Next up, of course, we got Tengen. Honestly, I think already Tengen has one of the worst backstories that we've seen. Personally, I'm gonna put it right here. I wouldn't make it. Literally, I wouldn't make it. Not because I would, Audi 9000 uninstall the game, if you know what I mean, in GTA. Like, I literally wouldn't make it through his backstory, and I'm gonna explain it right now. So Tengen's backstory, obviously, as we know, pretty sure we get it right after the Entertainment District arc or during the Entertainment District arc. Tengen, obviously, as we are reminded every time he's on fucking screen, Tengen is a shinobi. So he's not actually a samurai, he is a shinobi. Shout out Naruto. So he's a ninja, and basically he comes from this, the Uzui clan, and he had, I think, 8 or 9 other brothers. And so his father, in order to choose who his next head of the clan is going to be, a successor or whatever, or just, like, yeah, I want to see who's the strongest, he put all of his sons into a death match, essentially, against each other. Like, they would train to the death, like they would fight to the death. It's, you had to kill your other brothers or die. Yeah, so basically he had to kill every single one of his brothers, all 8 or 9, however many, because I don't know if it was 9 total, if it was 9 other brothers, but 9 was in there somewhere. But he had to kill every single one of his brothers, and that's why he's alive right now, because he had to kill every single one of his brothers. And then after that, he left the clan anyways. So it's like, bro, you could have just left. Why'd you have to kill? But I guess perhaps he was just like stuck, like he couldn't leave unless he killed his way out. But he had to kill every single one of his brothers. That's completely different from having somebody die around you, in front of you. You had to kill them. That's far worse than watching death, killing the person yourself, your own family, bro. Now, I guess to compensate that, I guess he got 3 wives. So like 9 divided by 3 is 3. You know what I'm saying? So I guess they're like, yeah, you killed 9 of your brothers, but hey, you got 3 wives. So I guess that's, you just need, like times 3 more, and maybe that'll equal out. But anyways, sorry. Tengen, yeah, like that's why I put it right here. I personally wouldn't make it through that. I'm dying, gang. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not gonna be able to make it through this backstory, bro. I can't kill my own brothers. And even if I couldn't physically do that. Not even so that much like, oh man, I don't want to kill my brothers. I mean, I don't, but like I would die. Like, this is a death match. Like, these are ninjas. I'm not a ninja. I'm gonna get cooked. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so bam. Yeah. Moving on. So next up, we got Sanemi. Now, Sanemi, I'm just gonna go ahead and put it right here for now. I still think Muichiro is sadder just off the top of Chrome, but after explaining it and giving myself a reminder, it might become my new saddest. Now, Sanemi's backstory has the same exact backstory as Genya because they're brothers. So Sanemi and Genya, like 2 out of 6, I think they had 6 total, or was it like 7 total? I don't remember, but they had a lot of siblings. Sanemi and Genya had an abusive father who was like a big body, like Mike Tyson looking dude. Well, I didn't hear it look like Mike Tyson, obviously, because he's not black, but you know, Japanese, but you get what I'm saying. Big body Hulk looking dude. Okay, not literally because he's not okay, anyways, he would like beat up the mom, get drunk, come home late at night, beat the mom, you know, run-of-the-mill drunk abusive dad archetype. Sanemi and Genya were like, hey gang, we gotta protect our mother, we gotta, you know, become men of the house, we the 2 oldest boys, we gotta, you know, we gotta handle business, we gotta be in our P's and Q's. But then literally like the next day, they, you know, make that pact with each other that they're gonna, you know, be like defend their mother. Their dad died. Well, I don't know if it was literally the next day, but their dad dies because he got into a fight at the bar, and I guess somebody just shanked him. So he died in a bar fight, basically. I mean, that makes sense for him. They no longer had a father. Their mother had to take on more jobs just to make ends meet, so she had to be out later at night. And since she's out later, she got turned into a demon, came back to the house just based on motherly instinct, but she ended up killing all of her own children. And Genya, thinking that it was a wolf because, you know, he's a kid and he's traumatized, so he's like, oh no, it's a wolf attacking us. And so he starts trying to pick up the dead corpses. You don't need to say dead corpses, that's the same thing. Picking up the corpses of his brothers and sisters that are dead on the ground. So Sanemi comes out of nowhere, out of the backwoods off a left field, and tackles this wolf outside into the street. And just like Muichiro, takes an axe and starts just hacking and slashing and hacking and slashing and hacking and slashing until this wolf dies. And with the sun daylight comes out in the morning, it's their mother. Their mother got turned into a demon, ended up killing her own children, and Sanemi had to, you know, take her out. And then obviously we get that scene where Genya's like, oh my god, you're a murderer, why'd you kill our mom? And yeah, very sad stuff. So Sanemi had to kill his mom, and that's why Sanemi became a demon slayer to slay all demons. And then Genya obviously followed in his footsteps to, you know, apologize. So that's their backstory. Now this is where it gets difficult, because it's like, because here's the thing, I think like Sanemi and both Muichiro and Sanemi's backstories are extremely tragic. Everything that happened in Muichiro's, all the tragic stuff that happened in Muichiro's life was when he was 11 to 14, so 3 years. He died before the age of 14, and his death was extremely tragic. Whereas Sanemi, yes, Sanemi, I'm pretty sure Sanemi was like 12, something like that. I don't know, remember the exact age. I don't even know if he even said it, but he was similar age to Muichiro. But now he's 22, so that was 10 years ago. Sanemi's like 22, 24, 23, something like that. Between 22 and 24. Sanemi doesn't die in the end. Spoiler alert. Genya does though. So I don't know. They're very close. The fact that all this happened over the span of 3 years for Muichiro, like Muichiro's like dead a kid, like a youngin, bro. It's really hard. And these are like my second and third favorite Hashira. And even my favorite Hashira is the lowest on the list currently right now with Giyu. I'm gonna just leave it here for now, but I can understand if you put Sanemi higher, Muichiro higher. Oh, but also I forget Sanemi's best friend also died as well, the only other wind breather. And we learned about the other wind breather, I think his name was started with an M. The only other wind breather died to Ubanai, which is the demon, which is the 12 Kizuki member, which is a lower moon that Sanemi killed in order to become a Hashira. So Ubanai, basically like another version of Tomio, which I explained in when I ranked all the demons, blood demon arts. So go look at that if you want more information about Ubanai, and we'll just move on. So next up we got Obanai. I'm not gonna lie, I just remember now that I looked at Obanai's face, I just remember like his entire backstory just flooded into my head. Yeah, man, this is low-key trenches too. But I think honestly, I don't know, because like killing your own family though, I think I'll put it like right there, honestly, for now. But anyways, let me go ahead and explain his backstory. So Obanai's backstory, I actually don't really remember when we get, I think it's probably when he dies. Well, that's what usually when we get characters' backstories, when they die. Muichiro was born into a cult of snake worshippers, basically Orochimaru's subordinates, I suppose. Kabuto was his pops, probably. This cult was a cult of all women, actually. So I mean, does Kabuto even have a gender at this point? So this is a cult full of just women, and they worship this snake goddess. All the boys are sacrificed to the death, obviously that's what sacrifice means, to the snake goddess, which I guess is the complete opposite of what China be doing. So since that's the case, since he was born a dude, born a guy, a male, he was supposed to be sacrificed. So he gets offered up to the snake goddess. Turns out the snake goddess is just Orochimaru. Like, this snake goddess is literally just Orochimaru with some titties. Like, you're seeing the image of it right now on the screen. Like, damn, she kind of why she kind of you know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, you can sacrifice me. Okay, let me stop. But before he sacrificed, though, you gotta make him all ripe and juicy, right? You know, because, you know, for the sacrifice. So basically, they cut open his mouth from ear to ear so that he can have the mouth of a snake, which is why he, like, has his bandages taped up over his mouth, because he don't really got a mouth, to be honest. I mean, it's like cut all the way open. So anyways, so he gets put back in his cell, and while he's in his cell, a little snake homie, Kaburimaru, which is around his neck right now, as you can see on the screen, basically came into his cell and it was like, hey man, want to be homies? I ain't gonna eat you. My mom kind of crazy, but I think you cool though. Let's be homies. He's like, bet. Can you help me escape out of here and shit? I forget exactly how, but he's able to break out. I think probably with the help of Kaburimaru, but he's able to get out of the cell and he runs away as far as he can, runs into the woods. And when he runs into the woods, he runs into Rengoku. Not that one, the drunk one. Shinjiro, the father, who's the current flame Hashira at the time, saves him. Obviously, Obanai tells him everything that happened. Which then Obanai's mother comes out, and Rengoku's mother is also the one that was going to sacrifice, obviously was going to sacrifice him to the demon, and it's like, why'd you run away? The snake goddess demon, she killed us all when you ran away. I'm the only survivor. Shinjiro's like, you want your son back? No, I don't even want him. Fuck that guy. I don't want him. He dumbass kid. Yeah, so then Shinjiro goes, kills a demon, and then takes in Obanai, and basically raises Obanai as his own son, so he grows up with Kyojuro. That's his backstory. Sad as fuck. Extremely sad, which is also why Obanai is it's actually stated in like a data book or in the manga somewhere that he's actually scared of women, which I guess makes sense. They tried to feed him into a snake demon woman, so I mean, I guess, yeah. And Mitsuri is like the only girl that he actually likes. Anyways, that's his backstory. I think I'm gonna leave it there for now, but anyways, moving on. Next up we got Rengoku. Now honestly, I know Rengoku's a fan favorite, he's probably your favorite, but I'm not gonna lie, his backstory is not that sad. Keep it a buck. I mean, Rengoku, okay, so let me go and explain it. So Rengoku grew up actually, like, at least relatively privileged. Kyojuro comes from the Rengoku family, which is a long line of flame Hashiras. They have their own compound. Obviously, his father was the previous flame Hashira, and before him. The flame Hashiras have been there since Yoriichi Sugikuni, the creator of all the breathing styles. Fun fact, there's always been a flame Hashira and a water Hashira among the Hashira. So out of every single iteration of Hashira, there's always been a flame and water Hashira. Flame breathing is passed down through the generations from from child to child. Water breathing is the easiest form to learn. So there's like so many water breathers. There's like seven or eight in Demon Slayer on screen, and that we like know of. Rengoku grew up with a loving family. You know, had an older father. He had a father, a mother, and a younger brother, and he grew up in a mansion, in a compound, right, that rivaled the Ubuyashiki mansion itself. But his mother was sick and she ended up passing away, unfortunately, kind of like Muichiro's mother. And then his father, Shinjiro, at some point quit the Demon Slayer Corps. I forget exactly why. It had something to do with sun breathing, but I mean, he would have known about sun breathing when he became a flame Hashira, when he learned flame breathing. I think it was actually because of his mother. He lost the spark in his life. He lost the blaze in his heart. For damn sure, after Kyojuro's mother passed, Shinjiro kind of just became a drunk and neglected his children. But by this point, Kyojuro was about the age of 15, I want to say. He mostly had already learned flame breathing, and even without his father, he still had the flame breathing book. So basically, he taught himself the rest of flame breathing that he didn't get from his father. But that's essentially his backstory. Yes, it is sad. Your mother passed, your father became a drunk, somewhat abusive, neglectful. Again, compared to other stories, that's not that bad in the Demon Slayer verse, especially during the Taisho era. Okay, because you remember this takes place during the Taisho era. Like, yeah, okay, most dads probably died at an early age. Every single character's parents died in this story. In this verse, everybody's characters died except for Mitsuri. But nobody got parents in this verse except for Mitsuri. Moving on, next up we got Shinobu. Now Shinobu, I'll probably put her right behind Giyu, and I know what this looks like. I know, shippers, chill out. I know what this looks like. Okay, stop, bro. But honestly, I might put it above Giyu. Shinobu's backstory is basically, so Shinobu has an older sister named named Kanae, and she had also had a mother and a father. Obviously, how else would she be fucking born? And she grew up with her parents, and I believe her parents were killed by demons. I don't remember exactly when we get Shinobu's backstory. We learned about Kanae fairly early on, but anyways, her parents were killed, and that's why her older sister Kanae became a demon slayer, and she followed in her sister's footsteps. Similar to, I guess, kind of like Genya and Sanemi, right? Younger brother, younger sister following the older. Kanae eventually comes across Doma, and Kanae, of course, had flower breathing. Doma ended up killing Kanae, and Shinobu was the Sugoku of Kanae at the time, and Shinobu was there when she died. Kanae told her, hey, quit this demon slayer core shit, go live a normal life, go be happy, don't join this demon slayer shit. And she did anyways, obviously. I mean, we were all watching the same fucking show, reading the same book. And yeah, and that's her backstory. Her parents died, she became a demon slayer with her older sister, and then her older sister died to Doma, and then eventually, you know, she ends up fighting Doma as well, and, you know, kills him with her poison. And then obviously, of course, they take in Kanao, who also learns flower breathing, but that's Kanao's backstory and not hers, so I'm not going to go into Kanao's backstory. Maybe another video. I'll probably do a separate video where I explain all the backstories of non-Hashiras, right? Anyways, that'll be a separate video. This video is just the Hashiras. That's Shinobu's backstory. Lost her parents, lost her older sister. I mean, I guess Giyu also lost his parents, but we don't know anything about him. Like, we don't see that in the backstory. We just see he had an older sister. So I'm not counting Giyu's parents because they weren't in the backstory. It's on the same level of Giyu. I'd say it's probably worse than Giyu because I guess she watched her older sister die, where Giyu didn't watch Sabito die, didn't watch his older sister die. Anyways, moving on to finally, but definitely not the goddamn least, we got Mitsuri, which, I mean, I guess it's kind of just poetic at this point. Not so sad. I guess, yeah, she's literally the least in this list, but she's not the least is in terms of Hashiras. Like, she's not the weakest Hashira. She's not the worst Hashira. Well, I mean, maybe in your opinion she is, but I love Mitsuri. She's great. I got her right over there. And now she's right over here. All beautiful and gorgeous and shit. I actually want her in Japan. That sounds crazy, but like, not a Daiso store. What they call it? Gigo? And the sword actually moves. Kind of sick. See? Mwah. That's besides the point. Well, actually, not really. I mean, Mitsuri. So Mitsuri's backstory is basically she grew up similar to Rengoku, relatively privileged. I say relatively because just because someone has a nice life on the outside doesn't mean that their life is, you know what I mean? Like, people could still, like, I have tons of mental issues, but like, I'm in college, like, I have my own apartment, but, you know, I still got like issues. It's just, you know, on the outside it might not look like that. So I say relatively because everybody goes through stuff, you know, like might have mental issues, might be born with them, you know, like me. So, you know, I try to give people, you know, anyways, besides the point, relatively privileged, right? So she grew up with a loving parent, very loving parents. I think she's the only child. Her backstory kind of rubs some fans the wrong way because she kind of has that typical, it's like that stereotypical, like, my life is hard because I'm a girl kind of story, which might be true, but it's just a little bit typical, right? It's a little bit like, okay, it's kind of on the nose, you know what I mean? She, you know, she's very much a girly girl. She's a very flowery girl. She loves love type of girl, but she's also physically gifted. She's very strong. She like She-Hulk type shit, you know what I'm saying? She-Hulk, you know, the series or movie, whatever it is. I never watched, because I don't watch Marvel. That series I've heard also flopped because it was like very typical strong girl. Anyways, but because she was strong, she wasn't that conventionally attractive to other men at the time, you know? Again, this is the Taisho era, right? The reason she has pink and green hair is because apparently in this Demon Slayer verse, you could just eat pink ice cream and your hair turns pink. You get struck by lightning and your hair turns gold. Shout out Zenitsu. So basically she ate pink ice cream, her hair turned pink, and then, you know, people are like, why do you have pink and green hair? That's weird. You know, now me personally, I think that's sick. That's awesome. But like, this is the Taisho era. So basically men didn't really want to be with her, didn't want to marry her. And so she was kind of sad. And so she's like, well, I'm really strong and kind of quirky, so I need to find a man that's stronger than me. But there's not any men that are stronger than me. So I got to join the Demon Slayer Corps. Obviously, she found her man, you know, Obanai. And some fans might even say she had like kind of a crush on Rengoku at the start. Mitsuri, when she first joined the Demon Slayer Corps, was the Sugoku to Rengoku. She trained under Rengoku and she was even there when he became a Hashira, when he was still a Kinoue. Then shortly after became her own Hashira. We don't know if she killed 12 Kizuki, if she slayed 100 demons, but either way, that's her backstory. Her backstory is not that sad, at least not to me personally, not to a lot of fans. I don't know. I mean, getting rejected, yes, that is sad, but it's like, Really? You got rejected? So I gotta join the Demon Slayer Corps because strong men are in the Demon Slayer, because all the men in the Demon Slayer Corps are stronger than me. So I can, you know what I'm saying, I gotta find a guy that's stronger than me. I mean, it makes sense. Actually, and she actually, speaking of strong men, I mentioned this earlier, she actually beat Rengoku in an arm wrestling contest. Yeah, so to all you shippers out there, don't fit the match. He's not stronger than her. At least not physically. This is my list. I'm actually gonna keep it just like this. Normally I usually edit them at the end. I mean, you can put Muichiro or Sanemi above. I mean it could be either one. Like, I just can't help the fact that Muichiro is like 11, dog. Muichiro's like 14. Like, all this is happening to him between the ages of 11 and 14. Like, I just can't help that fact, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Like, it just, like, you know what I mean? Like, Sanemi and Muichiro are my second and third favorite Hashira, bro. Giyu's my favorite. He way down here, you know what I mean? And I don't even like Tengen, but he way up here. Like, you saw me say, like, don't say it's like, oh, it's favoritism. Muichiro's a kid. Like, these are all grown ass adults. Like, every single one of these are grown ass adults. At the very least 18. I believe Shinobu's 18. Mitsuri's like 19. But these are all grown. Like, they're all like 20s. They're all in their 20s. This nigga's damn near 30. That's my video. Let me know in the comments down below about all your changes you would make. Do you agree? Do you not agree? And, you know, so on and so forth. And while you're down there commenting, make sure to like and subscribe to Joel and GOD, and to let me know you like this type of content. And since you like this type of content, make sure to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the content that you literally like. And don't forget to tell a friend or a family member. Could be anybody. Helps the content grow, the channel grow, and so you don't have to watch alone. Could be your brother, sister, niece, nephew, son, daughter, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, grandpa, granddad. My name is Goldie, aka GOD, and that's all I got for today. So, bye bye.